What is up, everyone? Today, we are going to be talking about Big Brother Canada 4, Episode 6. Got a lot to talk about. We got Loveita winning her second HOH and making some big moves. We got Joel talking to a unicorn-looking thing. I don't know what that's... Oh, boy. And we also have a date going on between Joel and Cassandra.
Oh, yes.
This is the Reality Room podcast with Paul and Chris.
All right, guys, we're reviewing Episode 6, BB Can 4, which just aired this past Sunday, right, Chris?
Yes, this past Sunday.
So let's jump right into it. So, where it started off, Loveita won HOH, right?
Yes.
So your girl Loveita. So let's go by initial reactions. What do you think about her winning?
I think she completely redeemed herself. She went from winning her first HOH to being nominated for eviction to being on the block to winning HOH again. And, I mean, this is a big turning point in Big Brother.
Yes.
Like, this is what we like. We like to see an underdog come back, win it, kill it, and she's going to do what she has to do.
So basically what happens after she wins HOH is that you get to see everyone's reactions throughout the house. So you had Cassandra, who's like, oh, I'm definitely safe because I'm good with Loveita. You have Jared and Kelsey kind of being like, a little iffy, and Raul, of course, along with the two of them, being a little, scared, essentially, because they think they're going to go up on the block because, they put her up last week, along with her best friend, Jerry, who went home, if you guys remember. So let's talk a little bit about what Jared and Kelsey are thinking right now. So apparently before... the voting took place on Thursday, right?
Yes, on Thursday.
When the voting took place on Thursday, Jared was talking to Kelsey about how he would rather Loveita go home than Sherry, because he's like, she's gonna win and then she's gonna put them up next week, and it's just gonna be a big deal. And Kelsey's like, oh, no, that's definitely not going to happen. There's no way in hell.
That Loveita would win the next HOH?
Yeah, and she's like, no, we're going to save Loveita. We're going to be best friends with her. And Jared's like, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're doing right now. So, go forward a little bit, and Loveita wins HOH.
And at this point, I didn't watch the first 20 minutes of the episode, but I got some news because... You told me, Paul, before the episode started. What happened after Loveita won HOH? What was the initial reaction to everyone? Because I heard that Cassandra was pissed. And that was kind of like the root as to why she went up on the block moving forward.
Right, so what happened was Cassandra, she wasn't actually pissed. She made a joke to Loveita. She was like, oh, I can't believe this bitch won HOH, in a joking manner. And Loveita took it to heart. She thought she was serious. Because, Loveita's a very emotional player, which, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, what do you think, Chris?
I kind of disagree with you with that. I don't think she is an emotional player. I think she's a very strategic... I think she's being perceived as an emotional, but she's thinking strategically. We'll talk about that later, but...
Well, I think putting someone on the block...
She wanted, but she did want to... But the thing is, if you watch the first... when she nominated her first nominees, on her short list, she did have Cassandra on there originally. So this was prior to this coming, unfortunate event that took place. She was going to target Cassandra in the beginning, but she thought she can take out Kelsey, and it didn't work.
All right, so before we start clashing, let me just say my point. Cassandra campaigned for Loveita last week. Enough said, and Cassandra was joking about the bitch thing. And Loveita took it to heart.
Okay. So,
Loveita had better points on why she put Cassandra up after she nominated her, ironically. But we'll go into that later. So, afterwards, going back to the Kelsey-Jared thing, after Loveita wins HOH, Kelsey's scared. She's talking to Jared, and she's like... And Kelsey's saying how she wanted Loveita home last week, and Jared's like... No, that's not what you said. I wanted Loveita out. You said vote out Sherry, and that's exactly what did happen. So Jared's like, we have to broker a deal right now, and that's exactly what they try to do. So you want to talk a little bit about the deal?
The deal that was made that was in the episode, correct?
Yes, the one that was in the episode.
I just want to make sure, because I don't know.
Because Loveita had so many deals this week. From the live feeds, it's just ridiculous. So let's talk a little bit about the deal, and I'll talk about some live feed stuff that went along with this.
Yeah, but before I want to talk about the deal, there's other things that happened prior to the
We can
deals.
talk about that after. Who cares?
Okay, so I guess we could talk about the deals. So one deal that was, well, I guess we're just gonna start talking game. So what happens is, she talks to Jared, feels very comfortable, tells Jared that it's ridiculous if we just keep going after each other because at some point, like, you're gonna go after me, I'm gonna put you up, you might be safe. It's just going back and forth between this clash of, like, we're never gonna get over this. And Big Brother 15, this is coming back to Big Brother 15 when, like, it's like the Alyssa and Helen versus Aaron thing, and they're just going after each other and it just makes absolutely no sense. And this is kind of like the same thing, but this time they're, Lavita's very perceptive about it. She's like, okay, so if I go after Jared and Kelsey, I'm going to be doing everyone else's bidding. I'm going to be getting the blood on my hands for no reason, and this is not the game that I wanted to play. I want to make it so that my HOH, I can make deals with people. They're concrete. I'm not going to get any additional blood on my hands. Let's start over. And she's doing that. My original reaction to, her nominees, I was like, why is Jared and Kelsey not on the block? But then, like, looking at the episode, different perspective on it.
Right. So basically what ends up happening is, Jared has the talk with Levita, and they kind of broker a deal to have themselves be safe, whenever they're in power, up until Jerry. And, that's a respectable deal.
Yeah.
Levita has to look out for herself, obviously. Whether or not they're going to honor that deal, we'll find out. Obviously, a little spoiler, but Levita did honor her side of the deal later on. But she didn't seem like she was going that way. She seemed like she was flip-flopping a lot. She was talking to everyone in the house. Everyone was telling her different things. She constantly had Raul, Kelsey, and Jared up in her room talking with her, because she was trying to assure that they had her trust and vice versa. Because she was like, okay, well, I have to be 100% sure. That's the kind of thing. That's the thing with Levita, and that's kind of what's been going on this whole week. She's kind of had everyone come up with her and assure their loyalty. So she's like, who are your targets? And she doesn't take any...
Right, and she even tells Ramsey, like, who are your targets? And he just says right away, Cassandra and Kelsey.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly, and Levita doesn't reveal any of her targets or anything. She just tries to get the information from them.
She's doing a lot of damage control from her failure of her first head of household. Is what she's doing. She's trying to start over a new branch.
But I think she might be overreaching just a little bit. Okay, so let's go back to the episode.
So prior to all the game talking, Joel meets Marsha. I put down on my notes, looks like a unicorn. Pops out of the have-not room.
That was fun.
And is giving Joel... And this, Marsha gives Joel a task, which is to ask Cassandra to go on a date. This was part one of the task. He does it. Cassandra's definitely down to go on the date. And then the second part of it was they have to get Levita's HOH room. It works out well. You're going on a date with Cassandra? Perfect for us. And then we find out he has to dump Cassandra in the middle of the date.
Yeah, and this is really funny because Cassandra is kind of like the kind of spoiled girl. Everyone really likes Cassandra, all the viewers, but she's kind of like that spoiled girl that's not used to, like, not getting what she wants. Mm-hmm. So for Joel to have to dump her, like, I'm sure she's the most. She would.
Yeah, she was surprised in her diary room. She's like, no one does this to me. What the heck is going on?
Yeah, it's pretty hilarious.
So the mission succeeded. Joel wins a party for the whole house, and does anyone else besides Joel know who Marsha is? Is he the only one that knows about it?
I'm pretty sure Marsha is a thing they had before in Big Brother.
No, but I'm talking about currently in the house.
Oh, in the house?
Is Joel the only person that knows what Marsha is?
Oh,
are other people? Is it gonna be like, it's gonna be cool? I think, like, if Marsha just pops out of nowhere with, like, Tim and Nikki in the room. Hey, Tim and Nikki, like, and they give them a task. I think that's gonna be fun.
To be honest, I'm not exactly sure what the status of Marsha is throughout the house. Maybe only Joel knows about her.
But why is Joel getting this power? Is it because he's like a have-not? Is it because they just give people random missions? Mm-hmm. What do you think about that? Is it just like because Joel's is,
I don't know, maybe
perfect for the task?
Well, maybe they probably just chose him as random. I don't know. I mean, it's tough to say, guys. What do you think? It could be because he's an actor. Maybe it's because he's like the quirky. Maybe it's because the people at home like him. The majority of people like Joel, or at least don't.
On Jokers?
Him.
How is he on Jokers?
Yeah, he's in top 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, on average. At least in the past week, he has.
So speaking of Cassandra, after Joel wins the whole house of party, we see Cassandra playing with Tim's feet.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I have a little something on the party before that.
Okay.
This is something that I believe was on the feeds, and I'm not 100% sure if it was during this time, but Tim poured shots of water and gave one to everyone in the house and made them all think it was vodka. So they made them all do shots of water, and people believed it was vodka. It was just a little funny thing that that Tim did. It was it was just a little amusing. So what were we saying about the feet thing, Chris?
Yeah, Cassandra's playing with Tim's feet.
Oh boy.
And
my feet are smelly.
She said I don't want to get too into the details, but she said his feet's like different and they were soft. I don't know why I wrote that down.
Yeah.
But moving forward,
apparently that was important enough for Chris.
I just wrote whatever anything Tim related. It's pretty. I like Tim.
Yeah,
cool.
Everyone likes Tim. Although we'll get more into him later.
A couple of other funny stuff. We find out that 2 house guests broke the have not rule.
Yes. Right. And who are those house guests, Chris?
We find out that Tim decided a couple of days before to give Cassandra yogurt that she was not supposed to eat.
Yeah. Which
kind of sucks because now she has to be a have not again.
Although in Tim's defense, he didn't actually think she was going to eat it. He was just like, and she just like, hum. And I was like, oh, all right.
And then we find out that Nicholas gave Joel some food too. I don't remember what it was.
I think it was a grape.
Was it a grape? Or something like that. I don't remember.
I believe it was a grape. I remember seeing something on the feeds about that, but I don't remember from the episode.
So that was pretty much it with the personal stuff. Going back to gameplay, again, Ramsey wants Cassandra and Kelsey on the block.
Yeah.
Lavita stays in her diary room. Everyone is playing their own game, and I like this quote a lot, but after she talks to Kelsey and Joel, makes their jury deal, like, listen, we can't keep going back and forth with each other, shake on it, jury, fair enough. She says that, and I quote this, revenge isn't the answer, forgiveness always wins. I have that down because I don't know why, but I feel like she has, mentally she feels like this can actually work out pretty well. And she might be.
Well, right. It is possible that this could work in her favor. Personally, I think it's going to bite her in the behind a little later on because now other people are going to be mad at her.
Who's other people? Like, who else would be mad at her?
The people that she nominated.
What? But you're talking about Cassandra and Christine?
Well,
what if one of them goes home? Then Christine's the only one that's mad.
Right.
Well, Christine was never... The thing is, Christine was never on Lavita's side anyways. We know from Christine's veto speech that she's not on Lavita's side.
This is the reality room argument, everyone.
But we're gonna go talk about that later.
Yep.
Blah blah blah. They shake on it.
Yeah.
But then we see that Kelsey. Oh my God! Kelsey tells Cassandra about the jury deal right after that. Why is she doing this? Why is Kelsey like she's talking shit about Lavita? Like, oh my God, why do I have to make a deal with Lavita?
Exactly.
Why is she doing this? Like, she's offering you safety. Why would you tell Cassandra this?
Exactly. And I remember seeing this on the feeds even before the nomination. Kelsey was talking to, I forgot who it was at the time. It might have been Cassandra.
Yeah.
I believe it was Raul. But she was saying how she still doesn't trust Lavita at all. And, even if this deal does come into place, she's still her target, basically. I don't know how true that is, since Lavita did go through with her side of the deal. But at least at the time, and a lot of people were saying on, a lot of people were saying, like, on Twitter, they were like, oh, so-and-so, whoever she told that to, I forgot who it was, unfortunately. Go tell Lavita so Kelsey can be on the block, yada, yada. It was just a lot of back and forth, basically, and we're not really sure.
A bunch of, petty bullshit.
Yeah, a lot of petty bullshit, basically. We don't really know where Kelsey stands with Lavita right now, whether they're good or not, and, even now that everything's gone on, even after the nominations, which were Cassandra and Christine, spoilers, which we already said.
Yeah.
Even now, she's kind of still flirting with the idea of Kelsey a little bit, or at least other people are putting it in her head, and we'll talk more about that later. So let's talk about the nomination ceremony.
So nomination ceremony starts. Let's talk about Lavita's shortlist.
Yeah.
She has Cassandra, Christine, Kelsey, and Raul.
Yes.
Not Jared, but Raul.
Right, and a lot of people in the house don't tend to like Raul, and by a lot of people, I just mean Nikki and Tim, because those are the only people I ever hear talk bad about him. But you know, it's they know he's like their little puppy or whatever, and they like to go after, you know, they want to go after like the third player.
Yeah.
that's in that alliance.
But before we find out that she nominates Cassandra and Christine for eviction, but before that, she talks about each of the people on her shortlist that she had as to why she would target them. She says about Cassandra. Cassandra made a mean comment about her, which we were talking about before. I didn't see the episode, so I'm not sure how bad this comment was. But
It wasn't that bad. She was joking. I can't believe this bitch won HOA. It was a joke. Oh my god.
And I have to see it.
She's an emotional player, guys.
Christine.
A strategic emotional player.
Yeah. She nominates Christine because she doesn't know where her head's at, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't even know where her head's at right now.
Yeah.
Christine's just kind of like a lone wolf right now.
Right. I think someone said in the house that or maybe it was on Twitter, that Christine seems like she's always pissed off about something,
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
I mean, yeah, but like when we watched her video, like she seems like, remember her video that we saw? She's like, I'm gonna be an aggressive player, like.
But she also seemed like she was a down-to-earth person. She said she had like the cast people on the floor laughing when she was doing the casting call. So I don't know. I don't know what Christine's personality really is.
Yeah, I don't know either. She's a big fucking.
I don't know whose side she's on. Apparently, she's close with Cassandra. Apparently, but everyone's close with Cassandra. And I just don't know where Christine stands.
Yeah. Kelsey, not sure. Is she gonna follow the deal? Yeah. Maybe, but who knows? Raul. She said that she would put up Raul because Raul is someone who would throw Levita up on the throw her under the bus, pretty much.
Basically.
Raul would do something like that. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yes.
And she just puts up Cassandra Christine. She tells the whole house in front of everyone. She put Christine up on the block because she's a question mark, and your interest wouldn't be with mine. And she tells the whole house she put up Cassandra because of the comment that was made.
Right, pretty much. And basically, what results in this, it's similar to week 1, where she basically flat out tells the target that she's the target, and that would be Cassandra in this case, which is exactly what happened in week 1, which had a lot of people.
But this time it's different because this time she doesn't really care which one goes home. Christine's a big target to her, and Cassandra's a big target for her.
Well, they're both floaters. She doesn't care which one goes home because they're both floaters.
And these were guys. These two people, Cassandra and Christine, were supposed to be Levita's original targets because they were also on Levita's shortlist during her reign as her first head of household.
Right, and that's something to really be considered here. It wasn't Jared on that shortlist week 1 and Kelsey?
No. It was Christine, Cassandra, Paige, and Kelsey.
Right, Paige, right.
She never once considered Jared.
Right. Okay, so it was, right, because Jared, they had the deal thing week 1. All right, so basically they had 3 of the same people on the short list than they did in week 1.
But this time she's like redeeming herself because she doesn't care which one goes home.
Right, I suppose that's the case. So let's talk a little bit about their reactions to themselves being nominated.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Christine was like, these reasons aren't good enough. I talked to everyone in the house. I don't really care, honestly, Christine.
They were both like, I hate this SOB.
But Cassandra's reaction was like, I should have just kept my mouth shut. That's what she said in her diary.
But she's like, I hope I win veto, so I can win HOH.
That's what they'll say.
So I can win HOH next week and send Levita home. That's what they both said.
Fuck? Like,
I feel like
that's not gonna happen.
I feel like the diary room just feeds them stuff. They're like, say this because it sounds dramatic.
Like.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm sure Christine actually felt that way, but she was like, "I knew it when she got nominated." And I was like, "All right, whatever."
Yeah, whatever. All right, so moving on. Episode's ending. Now we're gonna start talking about spoilers and live feed updates.
Yes, okay.
Paul, take it away.
All right, so there's a lot of stuff that's been going on around the house. A lot of stuff that went on Saturday night. So first off, let's talk about the veto competition. So there was a lot of speculation. A lot of people wanted Cassandra to win, because there's a lot. The viewer is actually kind of split right now. A lot of them are siding with Levita. A lot of them are siding with Cassandra. A lot of them are siding with like Mitch and Tim. I'm not used to the viewers being so divided and like very equally divided. But anyway, spoiler alert, and this is the spoiler to the veto competition, which is going to be aired on Wednesday.
Wednesday, yes.
Yes, it's going to be aired on Wednesday. So if you don't want the spoiler, stop right here. So the winner of the veto competition is Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas.
So, what do you think about Dallas winning, Chris?
I think this is pretty good. We're finding out that Dallas can also win competitions, and did he have to win this one? Not really.
It puts him in a good position, though, I think, don't you?
I think it gives him some more. It helps his game strategically because now he's starting to get information from Christine and Cassandra.
Yeah.
If you think about it, because they have to try to, those two have to try to convince Dallas to use the veto, and I don't know, has it been working?
They have to convince Levita first.
Right.
So, basically, with Dallas winning the veto competition, sometime after the feeds go back on, he's apparently considering using the veto on Cassandra. And the reason for this is because, okay, this is only one of the reasons. He has, like, other reasons, too. But one of the main reasons was that he feels that too many women are in the house. Or leaving the house, rather. And that he wants some of the boys to go home. So his main target, and Cassandra's as well, is the brothers. So Dallas has, like, this concocted idea, I believe it was with Maddie as well, to try to talk Levita into backdooring Nick and Felipe.
Only way I feel like that would work is if they would get into a room, like Dallas would have to get into a room with Levita, get Cassandra, Christine, get them all up there on board. Listen, use the veto on one of us, put Nick and Felipe up. We're not your targets.
Yeah.
That's the only way I figure that would work, because if Dallas just like completely blindsides Levita and uses the veto, she's not gonna fucking put up Nick and Felipe.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they have to have like a good plan about it. You know what I mean?
Right. So Dallas and Cassandra and a few other people have this plan to do this. So what ends up happening is Dallas goes up to Levita to have a conversation with her about his plan, and Levita's like, no. She just said flat out no. She's like, no, Dallas, Cassandra's going home this week. Cassandra was trying to tell me to put you on the block.
And she was, right?
Yeah, I believe she was.
She tried doing that last week.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't like Dallas, both at home and in the house, apparently. All right. So, yeah, Dallas tries to convince her, and Levita just isn't having it, and she's, like, talking to him like he's, like, a little boy. She's like, no, Dallas, let me explain to you why. And Dallas is like, like, you know, like, the brothers are, like, a big threat, and, you know, a lot of girls are leaving. And I'm like, all right, Dallas, calm down. And Levita's like, no, we're not doing this. So then Levita calls the brothers up into the room, and and apparently they broker some sort of deal.
What was the deal, you remember?
Safety? I didn't watch, but I heard later that it was brokered.
It was brokered?
It was brokered. You broker a deal?
Oh, broke her.
Yeah, brokered.
Oh. They broke her. What did they break?
Yeah, and they broke Levita, everyone. But no, they brokered a small deal. Also, a lot of people tended to believe that... I'm trying to think about how to word this. In regards to Tim, basically, and his relationship with Cassandra, because we all know that Tim and Cassandra are close, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about their relationship?
Their relationship is pretty good, but I don't think it's as Tim's relationship with Cassandra's not as solid as his relationship with Nikki. Right. So, I think his loyalty is more towards Nikki, and he's not going to justify trying to save Cassandra in order for his game to get better, kind of, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Mitch seems to think otherwise, because Mitch was trying to talk to Levita, him saying that he doesn't trust Tim right now, and that he was apparently campaigning for Cassandra to stay home, which no, it was Nikki, my mistake. Nikki talked to Levita, and I'm sorry, a lot happened in the house. Nikki talked to Levita, and apparently Tim told Nikki that Tim was going to campaign for Cassandra, which was true, and Nikki relayed that to Levita, which had Levita not trust Tim at first. So a lot of people were worrying Tim would be a backdoor plan, and then Tim went up and talked to Levita and apparently settled everything up pretty well, and Levita tries to start a 5-person alliance with her, Tim, Mitch, Joel, and... Yeah, right, and Nikki. So those 5. And a lot of people were really excited about this. But as of right now, it's Sunday night when we're airing this. Sunday night, Monday morning technically. But as of right now, Mitch does not even know about this alliance.
How does Mitch not know about it?
No one told him. No one told Mitch that they were in an alliance. So apparently there's a 5-person alliance in the house, and Mitch is apparently in it, but he doesn't even know about it. I mean, you can't write this stuff, guys.
Okay, so I think that's good for the Big Brother spoilers and then the live feed updates. I got one piece of news for you guys. So talking about Big Brother, this season has been really good. I feel we got a lot of strategic players, dynamic personalities. Mm-hmm. I think it's a great season. What do you think? Turning out a great season so far.
Yes, I think BB Can 4 has been very, very well done so far. Hopefully production stays out of it. That's all I gotta say.
I think this season is really good because we're starting to see production get into it before the gameplay. It's not during it. Like, they're not just letting these twists and turns happen during the show. It's before. Like, we get these international players, the brothers, they're starting to do all these twists before the show starts to get some fans to watch it, and and it makes the game a lot interesting because there's like duos everywhere. Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah, but I swear to God, if there's a twist this week, I'm gonna be pissed.
The other international players are coming back in. No, I'm just kidding.
Because apparently there was like this little thing in the house where there was like they was gonna hide something or whatever. Apparently people are trying to find it. People are thinking it's like a hidden veto, and it's like, whatever.
Okay, so really quick news. We're going to wrap this up. If you are in New York City, the Big Brother 18 is about to start. Yep. There's a casting call on Sunday, March 20th, between 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Tonic East, 411 3rd Avenue, corner of 29th Street in New York.
Right. And if you guys like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. This has been Reality Room Podcast with Paul and Chris. Until next time, guys. Peace. Woo!